Good morning, St. James. This morning is Good Shepherd Sunday. Now, if you've been part of the life of St. James over the years, you know that today, the fourth Sunday after Easter, is also Day School Sunday. A day when we worship beneath a cloud of happy voices filling our church, where there's constant movement and chaos as our children from our school and their families all gather in our church. But this year it's different in so very many ways. So in keeping with the day, we've decided that we're going to have a Zoom service today, and we're going to focus on our children and have a lesson from one of our Sunday school teachers for all who watch. But for those of you who cannot join us, can't Zoom in at 10:15, I've prepared a brief reflection for Good Shepherd Sunday for you. So the Good Shepherd. This past week we asked 4 of our youngest children to videotape their answers and to share their expertise as 3 to 5-year-olds and answer 2 questions. The first being, tell me, have you ever lost anything? And after listening to what it is they've lost, how did you feel when you found it? Now, we as adults are no longer in the 3 to 5-year-old range. We've been around the block a few times. And so our version of the question might be, at some point in your life, did you ever feel so very, very lost that you didn't know how to move into the future? And if so, what was your experience of being found? And if what is personal is truly universal, I imagine that part of your experience of being found is something like this. Someone heard me. Someone saw me. Someone understood. Someone listened very deeply to me beneath the level of words. Someone reached out to me. Someone cared. And from our gospel this morning, we know that Jesus embodied this kind of awareness of deep listening and compassionate care, and took the awareness of how it is that God hears, how it is that God sees and understands our humanity, and how we can get so very lost in the places where we find ourselves that God reaches out to find us through Jesus, the Good Shepherd. And this morning on Good Shepherd Sunday, as happens every year, our gospel is paired with the 23rd Psalm. A survey was taken a while back asking people one question: is there a biblical text you turn to when you're walking through very difficult and challenging times? And yes, survey result, the 23rd Psalm. We know it by heart. There's seldom a funeral at St. James where someone doesn't ask for this to be sung or to be said. And I'm seldom at the bedside of someone in their last hours of life when we don't pray this psalm for someone, as we did for a beloved parishioner, Bobby Lloyd, just days ago. You see, there are times in our lives when we realize that all that we have left, given what we are facing, is God. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Or another translation is, I have everything I need. There is a place to rest when we're exhausted, a place to stop and to lie down, says the ancient psalmist. There is a place of calm stillness. Even when we're in the middle of circumstances, when everything around us is out of control, absorbing our energy, heightening our anxiety, drawing upon fear, there's a place for strength. There is a place for renewal, for the care of ourselves and our lives, even when we're walking through darkness as thick as the shadow of death itself. The Lord is our shepherd. There is nothing we lack. We have everything we need. So every year on the fourth Sunday after Easter, we turn to a passage from the 10th chapter of the Gospel of John about Jesus, the Good Shepherd. And I think this is by design. Once our Easter liturgy has passed, it seems as if the church is saying to us, look, let's consider what we have just experienced together with the resurrection of Jesus Christ. There is an Easter truth that you, as an Easter person, can take into yourself. You have access to this, and it can sustain your life. You see, to believe in Jesus as the risen one is more than the hymn we sing, Jesus Christ is risen today. But it's a willingness to live into the presence of the risen one every day of our lives. You see, belief is more than an intellectual consent to a set of doctrinal assertions. To believe in Jesus as an Easter person is to say, I place my trust in you even when I face death itself or the forces of death. I place my trust in you, the risen one. Be it in a hospital room with a staggering diagnosis, be it in a counseling office when we are confronting the painful truth of our lives or the trauma we have experienced, be it in our struggles to heal, to forgive another, or to seek forgiveness, be it the lost position or lost status or lost job or underemployment and the economic worries. I trust you are with me in this, even as we face the challenges of COVID-19 and whatever the future holds, until an antidote for this disease is found. To believe in Jesus is an incarnational thing, having to do with the very flesh and blood and bones of who we are. It's part of the structure of who we are, and where we turn for hope and for strength, especially in times when a fog bank of circumstances rolls in and the darkness is very thick that surrounds us. Do we despair, or do we place our trust and our hope in the risen one? Whose voice will we listen to sustain us? I am the gate for the sheep, Jesus says in our gospel today. Sheep. We don't think about sheep very often in Los Angeles. We're not an agrarian culture, but I suspect that we do know that sheep are not the brightest of the lot. Without guidance, they wander into the wrong places to be. They eat the wrong things like poisonous plants. When they're left to their own devices, they get in trouble. They can't survive by themselves out there in the wild very well. And if they get caught on their backs, they can't upright themselves without help. If caught in a thicket. They are bait for wolves and that which will destroy them. And the shepherd, with this imagery that Jesus uses, is the one who provides and protects and shelters and knows each of them and is willing to lead them into a place that is safe and secure, that they may go in and out freely with their lives. And Jesus in today's gospel points out, look, there's a difference between that which wants to rob you of life, rob you of your peace, rob you of a sense of well-being and a secure foundation, like a thief or a bandit. There's a difference between that experience and the good shepherd. Or in the words of the ancient psalmist, the shepherd who wants to lead you beside a place of still waters, no matter what the circumstances are that surround you. I am the way in. I am the gate. I am the door. Enter all of this by me, says Jesus, the Good Shepherd. I know you. I know your circumstances. I know your name. Now, we, like sheep, have gone astray. We're not the brightest of the lot when it comes to wandering into harm's way. We do it with great regularity. We take on things that are toxic to our souls and toxic to relationships and toxic to our bodies. And we find ourselves at times flat on our back, unable to upright ourselves. And we need that which God can provide, the deep listening, the compassionate care, the love of a Eastered community where God is willing to work for our good with and through others and speak into our lives. So this morning, with this brief reflection, I leave you with one of the initial questions, the adult version of the question. How have you experienced being found? You see, we don't know what's around the corner. We couldn't possibly know what is around the corner or what the next turn in the road is for any one of us. But what we can know is that God is willing to be with us in an Eastered way. If we but hold on to the Easter truth, that we live our lives in the presence of the risen one, who is the Good Shepherd, who offers everything that we need. You are the door. You are the gate. You are the way into another way to live, is our prayer today. And no matter what challenges us, no matter what we face, God is with us to provide and to shelter, to speak in a way that we can hear, and to love us as individuals that we may spread love to others. Because Jesus said, there is another flock. There are those who have not yet come into the fold. And we are part of the compassionate, loving, and deep listening of God, if we but first will listen. I invite you to join us for our Zoom service, to watch the videotape of our children, to sit in on a Sunday school lesson, and to join us on this Good Shepherd Sunday. May your week be blessed.